We'll move on to our next keynote. It's with Stephen P. Frank, who is the VP of Architecture and Strategy for Risk and Finance at Wells Fargo Bank. For more than 2 decades now, Stephen's had an extensive experience in a variety of leadership roles and delivery of enterprise technology solutions. He champions a focus on user-centric design, design thinking, and providing solutions that advance business capabilities. Currently, he's responsible for the technology solutions as part of a multi-year initiative to transform corporate lines of business. And this is with a focus on advanced workflow, reporting, data visualization, business intelligence, and analytics. We've got about 15 minutes with Stephen now just to discuss this user-centric approach to workflow automation. Stephen, thank you for joining us. I'll hand over to you.
All right. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I really appreciate the presenters before me. And one of the things that I really wanted to have the opportunity to talk about is really not the technology side of this. And I think that has been handled very, very well by like Tobias and Dan and showing us some of the tools, as well as Christian with some very practical examples. And of course, data being a key part of this, Sachin helped address some of that. My passion really is about workflow from a user's point of view, and really having the opportunity to help drive business capabilities and efficiencies, through automation of it. And as a technologist, I consider myself a technologist for many, many years. And having had a career, based in technology for over 25 years now, technology is a passion of mine as well. But through all of this, one of the things that I have really come to appreciate is the criticality of the marriage between technology and people, the users, what we're really trying to do with business, and that we cannot separate the two. We don't want to, bring technology just for technology's sake. In the case of workflow automation, I'm a very big proponent of that as well. So what I would like to do today in this short talk is just, talk about workflow automation, what it is, what it isn't, from my perspective, from my experience, my work within digital transformation through enterprise, with enterprise clients and customers, and how we can really bring users and as a focus and really being the central part of what it is that we do. And how is it that through this we can drive business capabilities and outcomes through what we often refer to as workflow automation, or the business process, RPA, different terminologies that have come to really mean those things where we are really trying to take the processes that people use in their day-to-day work and automate those, or using technology to help improve those. So to me, right off the bat, I like to say workflow automation is not the sum of workflow plus automation. I really see those as, those are key parts of it, of course, but it's not simply a sum of its parts. It's more than just using technology and business processes. It's really, our objective should be to drive and improve business processes, to help the users to do their job more efficiently, but not just by plugging in a few technology components here and there. What we really want to do is enable the enhancement and augmenting of business capabilities. We can certainly drive efficiencies through what they do on a day-to-day basis, their current processes. But at the end of the day, we really want to see how can we be enhancing and driving and building new business capabilities through this type of technology, the automation of the workflows. A lot of the work that I do at Wells Fargo, as well as my experience, is really with back office lines of business, and the corporate businesses where we're talking about something like legal or audit, other corporate finance areas, payroll, HR, those types of things. We've seen some good examples of, how we can use these tools to stitch together some automation in that workflow. But how do we really enable this in a way that's going to help to enhance the efficiencies and drive new business capabilities through that? Well, from my perspective, it is by focusing on the users and really taking a user-centric approach to bringing the solution, to the table. It's a partnership between technology and the business. I think that's a critical part of this. And so, to me, it's not just automating workflow. That is part of it, and the processes that the users do. But it's not simply just, automating what they do today. It requires understanding of what their processes are and how is it that we can bring workflow to that, to their ultimate objective in whatever that process is trying to do. We all know that a lot of times processes within businesses, particularly enterprise, is as much about just a building of processes over the years. And this is, sometimes they get reinvented and a lot of times they don't. They just kind of flow from one form to another without really understanding what it is that we're trying to do. And I think when we are able to have the conversations with the business, and I think that this past year and all the changes that we have gone through on a world scene outside of business and technology, but the things that have been brought to the table and where we can really help a business has opened up the conversations from my point of view, that to look at those processes and really give us the opportunity to dissect them, understand how we can make them more efficient and how we can do more than just simply add some technology to automate portions of it. Some of the conversations I've had with users, some of the very manual processes that they do today involve emailing spreadsheets or cutting and pasting this piece of data from this system into another one, and so on. And in a lot of conversations that you first sit down with them is how, they're looking for, well, how can we get this spreadsheet to this person, without me emailing it? And while that, that's an opportunity, yes, we can do that with technology, but there's a lot more that we can if we're given the opportunity, and if we can help them to see, if we open that process up a little bit, is really just sending a spreadsheet or sending this file from this person's desk to that person's desk, is that really what we're trying to accomplish here? And so we look for opportunities to bring technology to that table, and at the same time analyzing what the process is and how can we overall make it more efficient to align with the objectives of the process with the business. But ultimately, we really want to improve outcomes. We want to give either the business opportunities for other ways that we can grow the business in that part, or how can we bring the economies of scale and the ability to drive more efficiency through some processes that can and have taken weeks. How can we drive that to be much more efficient and simplify them, or just make the time that it takes to get from the beginning to the end, shorten that substantially. So looking for opportunities to enhance the capabilities and improve the outcomes, it gives us, as I mentioned, that opportunity to bring technology to that table. And we hear a lot, and we've even heard that through today, that artificial intelligence, or AI, is a key part of that. There's been a lot of growth in that area for the last number of years, and we've seen some great advancements that artificial intelligence, through like RPA and process automation, by using that technology through machine learning, we can really reduce user touch points and improve the efficiency, streamline those processes by bringing the machine into that part of it. But I also see AI as augmented intelligence, not just artificial intelligence, not just letting the machine making the decisions or driving the process. Not all processes, as we've heard today, can really be automated from end to end without human interaction. There are many times that a human is needed at certain touch points through that. But what we want to do and what we can do through workflow automation and through that process is enhance the ability for those humans to make decisions along the way. We've heard some about decision modeling and things like that as being critical parts of workflow automation. And so if we can bring technology and machine learning to the table to help enhance those decision points, that is also a way that business capabilities and outcomes can be significantly improved. And those are some of the key things that I wanted to touch on today, just from my vantage point of having had many conversations with users about what workflow is and how can we, in the bigger conversations around digital transformation, or by how can we automate certain parts of the business or improve workflow, improve business intelligence, help with analytics, all those kinds of things. My passion really has come around really understanding what the business needs are, understanding how we can bring that technology to the table from the user's point of view, not just to automate the things that they do today, but to really drive those business capabilities and improve the outcomes for, whether it's from just an efficiency point of view or from a profit point of view. And so with that, I would like to just turn it over now for questions, and hopefully we'll have some answers.
Stephen, thank you very much. No specific questions yet. If you do have them, quickly drop them in now. I just wanted to ask you, I suppose, about this angle that you're approaching everything from. Is that because you saw or detected or even just noticed a danger that human interaction was starting to be bypassed a bit too much?
Yes, and there's a very interesting dichotomy with that. It's been very interesting in the conversations I've had with the business and really understanding what it is that they're trying to do. So a lot of them, okay, they can read the same trade rags that we do. They can hear the same things about some of the buzzwords around this, and so they seem at times to come to the table with the misconception that, okay, I can do all of this without any human involvement. I can't automate all of this, right? That's a question, or basically not really a question, but that's the expectation. And then on the other side of that is where the business is really very close to the processes that they've developed over the years, and they feel that they're very critical to what they do. Although they recognize they're not very efficient, there's a lot of manual processes, a lot of steps. So they look for just how can we automate this piece, that piece, or how can we just simplify this by having some of it move from desk to desk without it being just like email or using a share drive or something like that. So those are some of the conversations I've had that really drives this angle for me.
I mean, interesting going forward, I suppose, to see just how much the two wrestle with each other, I guess. Stephen, thank you for being with us. I really appreciate your time this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich.